and welcome to the Tabletop Tactics podcast, the show where each week we discuss a different tale, topic or tangent and hear from you, our amazing community. I am James Jordan, aka The Bard, and today I am joined by Chaos or Beard.
Hello.
And a very special guest, Louise Sugden.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show.
So excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
We're very excited to have you here.
Hey,
Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Isn't this nice?
It's so nice. Okay, bye.
Yeah, done. Just roll credits. There you go. Sorted, yeah. It's great having you here. You've been very busy. You've got lots on, lots of cool stuff, lots of cool shows, making your own miniatures. So I think what we wanted out of this episode was just to have a nice chat and just talk about all the things you've got going on.
We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, exactly,
yes.
right, yeah. So I think maybe we go right all the way back to, I guess, the beginning.
Get the way back when machine, yeah.
Yeah, right? Also, for anyone that doesn't know who you are, I feel like you're a big enough name in the hobby and lots of people have seen
That's
your content.
nice of you to say.
Warhammer masterclasses, but for anyone that doesn't know who you are, a little intro of yourself, yeah.
Okay, well, hi.
Hello. Yes.
I'm here. I'm Louise Sugden, and I have been into Warhammer specifically for a very, very long time. Yeah. I was into the hobby during uni. I picked it back up during uni. I think a lot of people have the same story where they they have to fit in when they're in school, and then they leave and they're like, I can just be weird.
Yeah. So do the things you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. So in uni, I got back into the hobby. Then right after uni, I picked up a job at Games Workshop, where I was a graphic designer and an illustrator and a photographer and loads of other things for a little bit. And then some people may know me from my later career at Games Workshop, where I worked in a marketing team doing Warhammer Plus, where I did Citadel Masterclass, which was very fun. But now I have my own channel.
Indeed.
Where I not only paint, but I just do really weird stuff with the hobby. Just really cursed things.
I really like it, yeah. I
like
enjoyed
it too.
Play-Doh's Space Marine.
Oh yeah, me too, me too. One of my favorite
cool.
things I've done is just smush up some
peeps,
awful looking little Space Marines. People love it. But yeah, now I'm having a really good time, and it means I get to do stuff like this.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, I love it.
It's really cool. I think what is interesting then is I think everyone has that little break, I think, and mentioning that's really fascinating, because I think we had the same thing. Well, you actually came in because of this to an extent, but I had a very similar experience in that at school you're kind of I want to fit in, and I don't.
To a certain extent, yeah.
I don't do Warhammers, honest. And then afterwards you're like, I don't really care what anyone thinks about me.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think everyone before we all started talking to each other about Warhammer on the internet thought that was an exclusive experience. Right? And then it turns out that most people, when you talk to them, are like, I got back into it 7 years ago, or I had this time. I don't think I've met many people who have I have never stopped painting Space Marines. Yeah. I have just never stopped. It is quite rare. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. For me, it's just before I was in high school and stuff, I just went around to my friend's house and he did Warhammer, and that was my interaction with it. And then after that, after I didn't go around to his house anymore, I just dropped off, and then I picked it back up and I was like, oh, I remember this. This was great.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, this was really cool. And for me, that was my thing. I was still, I didn't fit in high school. I was still bringing my Bionicles in my bag and stuff like that.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Bionicle is such a gateway into Warhammer.
Yeah.
No one talks about this, but it definitely is.
Yeah, even thinking about it, I remember the red Bionicles helmet is quite Space Marine-y.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's got the front grille.
I've always wanted to do a video where I make a Space Marine Bionicle. Yeah, right.
Do it.
It's every young boy's dream is just Warhammer and Bionicle and
Warhammer Bionicles. Yeah.
What's a Bionicle? I feel
Bionicle.
No, I feel so left out.
There was a film and everything.
Oh, the deep lore is okay. Right. How do we describe Bionicle to someone who's never?
So it's made by Lego. It is
Lego.
It is Lego.
So it's Lego Space Marines. But they're big fighting creatures.
They were quite Kinects and Meccano kind of stuff. It was a bit more there was tubes and connecting.
Lego Technics kind of vibe.
Yes, but they were fighting guys.
Yeah.
Well, and they all had big weapons and masks and stuff, and the deep lore was incredible.
Yeah, they collect all the masks and stuff.
Yeah. And there was these ones that rolled up into a ball, and they had the jabby.
Yes.
They were my favorite ones.
They're
and
really
for
cool.
me, I think that it was a lot of people's get into Warhammer, because there was these fighting guys that you could build, and there wasn't really that much of a barrier for entry because it was all made of Lego, and they had very Space Marine-y helmets and stuff. And if everyone at home, Google it if you've never heard of them. You'll see it. And you could just make them fight and stuff.
Really cool.
And I had a huge Bionicle collection. I recently bought it back. at a car boot sale.
Your own
No,
collection?
God, no.
Oh, that would have
Just
been
like a random-
amazing.
Cool, like,
I know, no, we sold that at another car boot sale when I was 9. I've never forgiven my parents for that.
The law of the car boot sale continues.
Yeah. But I picked up like just this massive box of random Bionicle, and it had
Amazing.
some like first edition stuff in there.
I remember there was at one point there was a big T-Rex you could get as like a baddie.
God.
And you pressed the back of it and it sort of its head went forward and
That's incredible.
grabbed things
Yeah.
with its mouth. Because it had like almost like an accordion style neck.
Yeah.
So you could press it and go, rah!
Yeah,
And just get
it was
was
very
awesome.
cool. All the cool kids, I promise, were into Bionicle.
Sounds very cool.
We're very rock and roll.
Yeah. We were definitely the popular kids.
Speaking of sort of getting into the hobby, so you
yeah.
mentioned like you had like a friend that
Yeah.
you sort of, they painted Warhammer and you hung out with them. What sort of, beyond the Bionicles, what was the step between Bionicles and Warhammer? Was it like from an art perspective or the
Yes.
miniatures?
Yeah,
or?
it was all, so like I had friends that had a box of orcs. And
Cool,
I
yeah.
had time over a summer holiday, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to paint some orcs with us?" And I was like, "Yes." So I had a little bit of time, like discovering myself, right, as you do. But this was like Warhammer discovering. So it's like, do you want to paint a Tau, or do you want to paint? So my first miniature I ever painted was the Mask of Slaanesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is weird
cool.
because I was just playing around with
Yeah.
like what I liked, and I thought I wanted a Slaanesh army.
Yeah.
Because it was very bright and colorful.
Yeah.
But then I just fell in love with the orcs because obviously.
Hard not to.
No,
Yeah.
I know. They're
Very
just
lovable.
they're just goofy little guys.
Yeah, they are.
And I got the codex, and I was so excited, and I
Yeah.
went through, and this is like a very nice nostalgic time for me. Is remembering. I think it was either 6th or 7th edition or something.
Yeah.
And like trying to decide which clan of orcs I wanted to do.
Yeah,
And I saw
right.
the snake bites, and I was like, these are definitely the coolest.
Yeah.
And then realizing there are no miniatures for the snake bite orcs.
It's like, oh man.
Yeah, and that was disappointing. So I started to convert a lot of miniatures, like squigoths and stuff,
Yeah.
out of like fantasy miniatures. And yeah, I just really loved the kind of creativity
Yeah.
that came with building an orc army
Yes.
and painting that. And I did used to play the game a lot more than I do now.
Yeah, okay.
But for me, my enjoyment was just sitting in my friend's room over
Yeah.
summer and painting miniatures.
Oh, those sorts of memories
it
are
was
so good.
Like I can smell the devil in mud.
Yeah.
I can smell it. I can hear the terrible music we were listening to, and it is just such a nice nostalgic time
Yeah.
for me, and I'll always remember that. But yeah, and that's I think one of the reasons why I've held on to Warhammer so much is I have such like great memories with it.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's just nice to kind of like live those every day.
Yeah, right.
Warhammer.
It's amazing. I think that hobby side of things as well, that sort of the expression within being, you've got a nice kind of template
Yes.
of it is in like, I feel a lot of people, I will go on to this in a minute, but obviously you're quite into art and music and things
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
But I think there's something quite nice about Warhammer in that it's almost a blank canvas, but not quite.
Yes.
So you've got something to pin a little bit on. It sort of allows you to sort of stretch the sort of creative muscles a bit
Yeah.
of like, oh cool, I want to paint an orc, but I want them to be blue instead
It's
of green.
why I think Space Marines are so popular, because like whilst they are like, people make fun of them because they're boring or whatever, and they have this like formulated template, it is a blank canvas
Yeah.
that you can put your own legion into, and in a way that things like, I don't know, Sisters of Battle or something maybe aren't so much. They've got
Yeah.
these blank pauldrons, and you can essentially play dress up however you like
Yes,
with them, which
such
I
a
think,
good point,
I
yeah.
think is why Space Marines are quite popular, because people are quite attracted to like that. There's a format,
Yeah.
there's something you have to do, there's a way that you can paint, but you can kind of sprinkle in your own creativity as well.
Exactly right. It's that amazing thing of being able to take something that is enough of a concept, like it's a Space Marine, and you can read about it and be like, cool, I kind of get how this works. It's like, oh, I'm going to make my own Space Marine.
Yeah, but I'm going to make my own, which
Yeah,
have, which
my
have
own
double
spe-
guns and
Yeah.
swords on their guns. And it's like, well, we already make that miniature. It's like, yeah, well, I'm going to have 2 swords again.
Yeah, my bolt gun shoots swords that turn into more bolt guns.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love playing Warhammer with kids because it's all that.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
just that. But yeah, I love that about the hobby as
Yeah,
well. Is that,
it's
yeah,
amazing.
you're right. There is this kind of like, you can build it, you can assemble it, but then you can just kind of just do your own
thing. Yeah. So speaking of that kind of like art side of things, like, would you say you had like kind of an artistic background pre-Warhammer? Were you into art at
Definitely.
school
Yeah,
and stuff like that?
I was an art school. I was an art
Nice.
school kid. I
Yeah.
did illustration and graphic design and photography. So
Wicked,
it very
yeah.
much dictated my job at Games Workshop.
Yes.
Rather, I think, than the hobby. I did have a background in like illustration and stuff, and I've always been an arty kid. So I think I naturally just fell into it pretty easily.
Yes.
Like using
Amazing.
paints wasn't weird to me.
Yeah.
I knew kind of how highlights work because I did it in 2D.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like a match made in heaven, I think.
Do you think as well, like having that sort of, because I think a lot of people I know, always find the painting side can be a bit like
Oh, yeah.
stressful or like
Oh, yeah,
scary.
yeah.
Having that artistic background, like you say, even understanding
it's
like
worse.
light and really.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So much worse because you know, when you have an artistic background, you want to be good. You want to be good. You know that you want to be good. For me, the hardest part of painting isn't painting. It's when I paint and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I love painting when it's going well, but when it's not going well, I really struggle.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep. And I don't know if you guys have the same thing where it's like, I'm not going to go to bed until I'm happy with it.
Yes, I know exactly.
But I
what you
have
mean.
that.
Like you can't put it down until you're sort of like, okay, I'm happy with where we're up to.
Yes.
And then you
yeah,
can be
literally,
like, cool.
because I won't sleep. I've dreamt of Warhammer. Like I've dreamt of paint jobs, and it is not fun. It is not good. They do not help. Yeah. But yeah, I think having the artistic background probably helped with some understanding, but it also, I think it just makes me want to push myself into doing weirder stuff.
Yes.
Because like I'm not happy with it just like looking good. I want it to be something.
Yeah.
So I'll do an inverted space marine or pink horror, that's what I did. Or I'll paint something, I want a challenge.
Yes.
I like a challenge, I like a painting challenge. I wanna push it into some weird places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got such a unique style. Though.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I swear to God, my Instagram feed most of the time is your what's it called?
Spy ranks.
Yes.
Mind Stealer spy ranks.
Every time anyone that has ever gone to Warhammer World has visited, they're like,
Oh my God.
here it is.
It's like a thing now. You go to Warhammer World and you gotta be
It's like its own exhibit.
Yeah.
I love
It's like
that they're
front and
there.
center. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they're there. A lot of people are like, why are they still there? And I'm like, it's the best place for them to be.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm glad they're there, and I wouldn't want them to be anywhere else because I think I love Warhammer World. I think I was there yesterday, and I still get so excited, and it's just great. It's such a privilege having them there and it's nice that people seem to like to see them, which was cute. They used to have them on the bottom shelf, and you could see all the fingerprints from when the kids had like pointed at them,
cool.
and that was really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mind Stealer spy ranks, I think I peaked. And I hate that because it's been 2 or 3 years since I painted that. And I still think it's the best miniature I've ever painted. And that's really annoying. I need to, and that's why I try to like push myself to try new things, because I'm terrified of plateauing.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of like my best work being 3 years ago and I've not painted anything better since. It scares me. So I want to do Trug. The new, and I want him to be like my next.
The next one.
The next.
Your magnum opus.
Yeah. It was just sticking the wings on the back though. That's what got people, the spy ranks.
Or with the wings, yeah.
Because I did that and people were like, oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
cool,
So I need to like do something to
Put wings on Trug.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's literally the formula. If you ever want to like make a cool conversion, just
Stick some wings on it.
stick some wings on it.
Yeah.
Sanguinius, just more wings.
It's more wings.
Yeah.
Wings on wings. Yeah. Every feather has a new wing.
my
I
God.
really.
Biblically accurate.
What I think is amazing about, and probably correct me if I'm wrong, but also it being there is the right place for it, because also immediately it's front and center. You go there and it shows that like, yes, there's all this art in Warhammer, but it speaks back to what we were saying a minute ago of like, you can really do anything with the models.
Yes, yeah, and I was quite surprised when they hired me for masterclass, because I was like, you know, I don't paint like Aiden, right? You know, like, and they were like, yeah, that's absolutely fine, and I was like, that's super cool.
It is really cool.
That like they were like, yeah, paint in your own style, and that's absolutely fine, and I did, and I thought that was really cool.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. In terms of your creative process, there's something we'll get onto. We're doing a second episode on demand. So on demanders, you lucky ducks, you get 2.
A second. What a treat,
what a
everyone.
treat.
What a treat for
What a
you
treat
at home.
we
More
Yeah.
sugs more often.
That's right, past Beard and Bard. Our second conversation with Louise is available right now on demand. We talk about why and what it was like leaving her dream job at Games Workshop, her creative process, and the exciting trials of now being an independent creator. It also joins a library of other great conversations just like this one from our weekly podcast, as well as a titanic vault of hundreds of battle reports and Warhammer content exclusive to On Demand. So if you want all of this epic content, sign up today on our website or via our app. Anyway, enough from future me, let's get back to the episode. But that's something I really want to go into, but we'll save some of the conversation about how that influences your content from a YouTube perspective. But what I do want to go to, you were saying about obviously getting picked for like masterclass, and you did sort of art and stuff. You did you were art schooled.
Yes, art schooled.
Art schooled.
Yeah, art schooled.
Yeah, I was art schooled. So I'm really intrigued, because I think loads of people would love to know, and loads of people out there would really want to know how you went from being, okay, I'm doing sort of an art degree to then working for Games Workshop.
Such a funny story. So my art degree, I did illustration, and I was very much into like kids illustration.
Cool, yeah.
So for my degree show, I drew a lot of goblins, surprise, surprise. So my whole degree show was like based on collecting, because I was into Warhammer, and I wanted to do that. So I made a lot of goblins made of like little bits of toys and stuff.
Amazing.
And I made like a little illustration series on those. So then I finished uni and I had to get a job, which sucked.
Yep.
Sucked. Got to use that art degree somehow, right? So I applied there was a random job. It was maternity leave, and it was book layout in what was Forge World, what is now SDS, Specialist Design Studio.
Nice.
I remember, yay! I always call it the SDS Studio, which is Specialist Design Studio, which is not right.
I like that.
That's like the remix DJ version.
Studio. Yeah. It's the Beastie Boys edition. Yeah. But yeah, so there was like a maternity leave doing book layout, and I was like, okay, I can sort of use those programs in design, I think it was. So I applied, and I was in Aberdeen at the time, and I applied just as like for fun, right? And then I got a call being like, we'd like to interview you. Amazing. So I was like, oh no, I have to actually go down to Nottingham now. But free trip to Warhammer World, yay!
Yeah.
So like my first time ever there, I was very nervous and excited, and I had my interview. And I just turned up with a portfolio of goblin pictures.
Amazing.
And pictures of like Warhammer that I'd done, and they were like, you got the job.
Amazing. Yeah. We see you enjoy goblins.
Yeah, it was literally like that. It was funny because I said like I'm from Scotland and stuff, so I've travelled down here, and they were like, cool. So I finished my interview and I went to Bugman's to like hang out with my mum. I brought my mum with me.
Oh yeah, nice.
I know, it was good for her.
Shout out to
She had
Louise's
a
mum.
nightmare about orcs that night and stuff. Yeah, she was terrified of orcs. Anyway.
I know. You say anyway, but I feel I want to unpack this nightmare.
Yeah. We were in the hotel that night, and she woke me up, and she was like, Louise, I had a bad dream. I was like, what? She was like, I have dreamt that the orcs were chasing me. I was like, there's so much more horrifying things in that museum. And she had a nightmare about the orcs, the poor woman. So yeah, we were in Bugman's. And then they came out just to be like, yeah, I want to give you the job. Can you start?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay. You were still there?
I was still there. I had like taken off my shoes, having like an anxiety attack with my mum. And they're like, hello, miss. And I'm like, huh?
Finding yourself with shoes.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, can you start whenever? And I was like, yeah. So I just packed up my stuff and lived in an Airbnb for a couple of weeks until I got a flat, and I started working in Portugal.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also kudos as well, 'cause it's that thing, it's like often with jobs like that, it is so hard to just be like, I'm going to relocate my entire life.
Oh no, I'm super nomad. I'm totally.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Cool,
I was super. That was like the most chill part of getting the job.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
The least chill was like, oh my god, it's the dream job.
Yeah.
The imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That was the toughie, because I was like fresh out of uni. And it was like, I love Games Workshop.
Yeah.
I want to be here for the rest of my life. Oops. But like that was the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Is that like, this is the dream job.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And like, I was young, and they did train me up, which was like super cool of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was tough, because like, everyone in there was my hero.
Yeah.
And I remember on the first day, I went round, I shook everyone's hand, and I was just being super weird dude about everything. I was just being this like, what are you doing? What's that? That's pretty cool. Like to them, it's like the most normal thing in the world, obviously. Yeah. And you get into that mindset eventually. Well, I didn't. I'm still a big fangirl. Yeah. But yeah, it was insane getting a job at Games Workshop. Yeah. It was like a dream come true.
Amazing. And also,
it was.
I think probably it speaks to your passion for it, that they were like, 100%. As soon as they saw you, they're like, okay, cool, we want to train this person up, because you have that love for the core.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big thing about Games Workshop is they will see someone who's passionate, and they will say, you'll probably want to work really hard. And it's true, we do. Yeah, we absolutely 100%. Pour. Like, I probably wouldn't take as well-focused pictures if I didn't care about the product.
Exactly,
but I want it to look good on the box because I love it.
You care.
Yeah. It's a good method to hire people. Yeah. People that genuinely maybe will buy the thing they're working on later. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you find the sort of not how did you find, but how did it sort of go from them being like, cool, you're working in SDS?
Specialist Design Studio. They yell at me if I get it wrong.
Yeah.
So
SDS.
Even now?
Yeah.
even now, especially now.
Like working from that, doing like book layout to then, obviously I imagine there's quite like a zigzag sort of route to then being doing the masterclass stuff.
Oh, that's a long one. Yeah,
it being
yeah.
like taught up or
I did so many jobs.
Oh wow, okay.
So
yeah.
I've done, like, that's one of the videos I did was like, I do every job at Games Workshop, which was like 5 jobs, so not really. But yeah, so I started doing book layout. It was all right.
Yeah.
I like doing construction booklets.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite jobs.
Oh really?
You
What
did
for the
the instruction
instructions?
books?
Oh my God, yeah, I love that. That's what you're like, oh my God.
Well, you think like someone's actually had to put this together? They must be very clever.
Thank you.
Which one was it? Which one?
Any Necromunda?
Any Necrom? Well, you did.
Necromunda, Lord of the Rings. It was all Forge World. So Necromunda, Lord of the Rings, Titanicus. Not fun. Doing the Titan, I think I've only ever made one mistake in a construction booklet in my entire life.
Nice.
It was in the Titan one, and you can't even tell because they're the same piece but reversed.
Yeah.
So it absolutely fine. But yeah, like all the construction booklets for a very long time, and the box design.
Oh,
For
amazing.
like the Middle Earth range and stuff
Oh,
like that.
how cool.
Yeah, like great parts of my job.
Yeah.
Like I love doing that. And that's why I did that video where I do all the packaging for this goblin I've
Yeah.
got, because I missed it, because I genuinely loved that job.
Yeah.
So
Also,
yeah.
shout out to the packaging of the goblin. It's awesome.
Oh wait,
It's
that's
really
me.
good. Yeah,
Oh wait.
this guy.
The goblin is magnificent.
It's
Oh,
very
thank you.
For
magnificent.
some reason, the packaging is just blowing my mind.
I love
It's such a
packaging.
nice box.
I love that job.
Yeah.
Genuinely loved it. I love doing packaging. I wasn't very good at it. Blood Bowl is done new packaging. It's so much better. Necromunda's good. Titanicus has gotten better. But yeah, I love that job. So I did the boxes. I did construction booklets. I did the photography. So when a miniature gets made, it gets painted, handed to me. I photographed it. I make a construction booklet, and then I put everything on the box, and then
amazing.
it gets sent to print.
That's so cool.
That was one of my jobs. Another job was book restoration. Doing that.
Hey!
You did
Yay!
that
I didn't write Slaves to Darkness. That was Rick Priestley.
It's like Louise Sugden.
Yeah, restoring the book.
By
with
Rick
their own
Priestley and Louise Sugden. No, it was restoring old books
amazing.
for re-release. So that was like one of my favorite jobs.
Yeah.
And again, I think they gave me it because I was genuinely passionate about old Warhammer.
Yeah.
So they were like, this lassie's not gonna mess up.
Yeah, she cares about the end
Every
product,
single page I had to so I cut a book apart. So that's like an original copy, cut it apart with a knife. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then you scan every single page. And then you clean up every single page. So any dust, any
wow.
letter that's been smudged, all the sidebars, you have to redraw things. And that was one of my favorite jobs. Like it was so fun. And then you have to find the original artwork from the cover. And then you have to find a version of the cover that doesn't have the Satanic Panic logo on it, which is crazy. So that was another really fun job that I did, was doing the restoration of some of the books. Some of the newer ones were done by other people, which is good because they are also very good at it.
That's amazing.
And then there was a time where there wasn't enough illustrators. We had too much illustration work, and they're like, "Hey, Louise, you draw.
Yeah, I've seen you draw. Yeah.
You've done a space machine."
Yeah.
So then, for a couple of months, I helped out with Horus Heresy,
Amazing.
doing background work and stuff like that. And they were like, "What if you just didn't stop doing that forever?" So then I just started being an illustrator for a really long time as well. I think the last 2 or 3 years of my career in SDS was illustrator.
Amazing.
So I did Blood Bowl. I did a little bit for Middle Earth, which was great.
That must have been fun as well, doing that.
I did one illustration. I'm like, this is the peak of my career. But yeah, I did Blood Bowl, Necromunda, loads of Titanicus, mostly Titanicus. That was my main job, was being a Titan monkey. Just churning out Titans.
Keep making Titans.
Yeah, just kept making Titans. Blood Bowl was my treat.
Yeah.
And and after that, there was a job application. Obviously, I'd done some stuff with marketing before. I did Blackstone Fortress, one of the worst videos ever.
Yeah,
I was so ill.
Yeah, were you?
I was dying. Everyone was not well.
Was it you guys did a playthrough or something?
Yeah, it was me,
Blackstone
Peachy
Fortress?
Duncan, and Becca Scott did
Yes.
a playthrough. Me, Peachy, and Duncan, I think we had the before COVID.
Oh, really?
5 years ago COVID.
Yeah.
we were dying. We were like knocking back. Like Strepsils. Becca Scott comes in just absolutely immaculate, and we're like, hello.
Hey, Becca, do you have any limsin for us, Becca Scott?
And she's like, I just did 5 hours of yoga this morning, and we're like, cool, I can't breathe out my nose.
Yes.
So I'd done some stuff with them before, and I really enjoyed it. I'd done some like battle reports on their live channel and things like that, and I really genuinely liked that. I'd been to a lot of open days, and I like talking to people about Warhammer, and I like painting some stuff. I painted some stuff for Forge World as well, like I did the Colossal Squig and the Rogue Idol for the website, so I could do that. So they did a job application, which was like, oh, we need another painting presenter, and Peachy's like such a great guy, and I really wanted to work with him as well, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll apply. And then I did.
That's wicked.
And it was another one where an hour after the video call, because it was over COVID, they were like, you got the job. I've got a great track record.
And you were like, put the shoes back on. Cool, we're back in business.
I think the longest interview was the one I had with myself, being like, should I?
It's in the mirror.
Like you're fired.
That's it, you're done.
No. That was it. That's the entire journey.
That's incredible. Also amazing to hear sort of more the behind the scenes aspects of even just creating a product. I think it's always easy to think like, oh, they make the miniature, they put it in a box.
Oh, it's so fascinating.
You forget even the box being created needs teams of people.
Well, and this is it. So like, I talk about my Games Workshop career, and then I'm like, and then I joined marketing, and most of it is me just talking about how much I liked photographing miniatures. Like, it was such a fun, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, I didn't stop doing that job because I didn't like it. I just wanted to try something new, and I discovered something that I really enjoyed, which was doing stuff like this. But I still like miss doing packaging, so I just started my own miniature company.
Just start your own miniature company, why not?
Mostly because I just want to make like terrible construction booklets. So
they're all wrong there.
No, it's just glue miniature onto base, and I'm like,
Step one, open box. Step two, finish miniature.
It's literally that.
Amazing.
But so I get to do everything that I like now, which is super fun for me.
That's really cool. I think, and we will talk about more sort of like Rogue Hobbies in general in episode 2. But in a sentence, what is Rogue Hobbies and why Rogue Hobbies?
Oh goodness. Oh, that's a good question. So Rogue Hobbies is just fun. It's just in a sentence. Wait, did you say a sentence or a word?
I said sentence, but you can be very creative how long that sentence is.
It's just my fun little hobby journey. I think it's just doing all the weird stuff that I want to do, and a lot of it, like I said earlier, is just challenging. It's just kind of pushing what I can do. And just going places, having fun, discovering new things that I like, discovering old things that I like. And it's just like a kind of my personal hobby journey. Like, come along for the ride.
See what's going on.
See what's going on. Yeah, it's that. And why Rogue Hobbies? Peachy came up with it.
Oh, really? Secrets of
should have kept it a secret.
That's literally it. He was like, you know what's cool? I was like, what is it? Is it Space Marine Channel? I was like, he's like, no, you should call yourself Rogue Hobbies. I was like, yeah. That was it.
What a story.
I was like, I wish there was a cooler story where it's like, and it was my personal journey of going rogue. Peter, like, you know what's a good D&D word? Rogue.
Rogue. They're fun.
So actually, it was Peachy that came up with it. So thanks, Peach.
So everyone go blame Peachy if they don't have Rogue Hobbies.
No one's complained about the name yet.
It's a cool name. It is cool.
So I had like a Rogue Hobbies meetup yesterday.
Oh, amazing.
Which is crazy, at Warhammer World, obviously.
Where else is there to go, you know?
My house, which is just more Warhammer. So
it's the mini Warhammer world.
They were calling themselves rogues.
That's
cool. I was like,
you have a cult now.
It's a cool one though.
That's what they all say.
I know, and I'm like the best, most loving cult leader.
That's what they all say.
Such benefits in my light. But yeah, it was like, I was like, oh, that's like the cool nickname that you come up in primary school that you want people to call you. They were like, oh, the Rogues.
The Rogue.
Oh, goodness.
I know, and I was like, ooh, thanks, Peach.
You're like,
because if I was in charge, it would be like, we're the goofy goobers from Dublin Town. Like, no one wants to play with
now you have
kids.
A selection of rogues.
Yeah, exactly, and it's really cool. Do you guys have like a...
We don't have
the tacticians.
That's what we should probably
The tic-tacs.
We call everyone bosses.
Yeah.
Boss man.
Boss man. Yeah, boss man, yeah.
All the boss people.
All the boss people.
Yeah. All the boss people.
Yeah.
I like that it's gender neutral.
Yeah.
All the boss people. That's good. I like that.
Do you think related to mega bosses, i.e. the orcs?
That makes sense.
It would make sense.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
There's lots and lots of questions that maybe shouldn't be answered because we don't have any cool stories.
That's true.
We just come up with things.
Yeah, well, this is it. I'm like, Peachy did it.
Yeah.
That's not a cool story. That's just us, like, with one brain cell doing past the parcel until we had, like, a good idea, and that was it. I think we had, like, Sprue Loose for a bit, and I was like, that's terrible.
That's pretty bad.
No offense to anyone that's called Sprue Loose. But it wasn't for me.
Sorry, the comments now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if you're in the comment section, your name is Sprue Loose, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just sending one solitary crying emoji.
Wow.
Well, we considered it, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
but
it's gotta be pretty
that was.
Just raising them up.
I don't know. I just Rogue
Before you
Hobbies is like a
strike 'em
good
down.
coverall. I think it's generic
It's
enough
good.
that I can.
It's
It
very
doesn't.
nice.
It doesn't narrow me down. Like Sughammer, which is my Twitter handle, is very specific because it's Warhammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm Savage Orc Guy on Instagram, which is very specific because when I used to post my miniatures online, it was all Savage Orcs.
Makes
So
sense.
then people would call me Savage Orc Guy.
Makes
And
sense.
that's why it's that. And I'm
the
not
Savage Orc guy.
because I'm the Savage Orc Guy, and of course there was no pictures or anything of like my face or anything, so people just assumed like, oh, it's just some guy. So it stuck.
That's
There
always
you
a
go.
big moment, isn't it?
What, the reveal?
Yeah.
The face reveal.
Yeah.
Face
Oh
reveal.
yeah, they hate me now. Oh yeah, that
Unfollow immediately.
yeah, literally, yeah, it was like that. I swear to God, every time I post a selfie, I lose like 10 followers. They're like, "Where's the Space Marines, Louise? Where's the little goblins?"
We're here for miniatures only.
Yeah, literally, which is fair.
I believe we're going to take a very. Well, I don't know if we need a break in between.
Oh.
But you have a trivia round for us.
Right.
What?
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. This is episode 19, something like that.
19.2.
It's
part
time.
5.
Yes.
Yep.
It's time to innovate. It's time to be creative. Not you two, me. It's time to bring something new to the podcast.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Is it not me?
Apart from you.
I wasn't
been
enough,
here before.
Louise.
It's an episode of first.
You're crusty. Everyone see it. You're old news, Louise.
You've been talking for about 20 minutes now. I want some attention. We're going to have the very first, the premiere, the inaugural?
Yeah.
Go
Is that a
first?
word? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a word. Yeah.
Trivia round.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this where the music comes in?
The music should be coming in
Okay,
right
let's
now.
dance to invisible music. Okay, this is the worst.
So the first part of the trivia round is to feel really uncomfortable, and then we get into the question. Shall I just go ahead and do it right now?
I think you should just do it.
just
I
do
don't
it.
think we need a break.
Okay.
I think we just go straight in.
Don't necessarily get used to this, everyone. If you really enjoy the trivia round, please tell us in the comments. Also, whoever has just created the user handle, a Sprue Loose, welcome back into the comments section. I'm fully expecting that to happen. Sloppy Bar Piper is a firm favourite on the channel.
We have an actual.
Very
something.
recently, someone has coined the username Sloppity Bowl Typer.
That's so funny.
They've cemented themselves in history.
Oh, I have the best one I've ever seen. It was someone that used to like join in a few like Warhammer chats. Gangster's Pair of Dice.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Best Warhammer handle I've ever seen.
That's
in my
very
life.
cool.
Gangster's Pair of Dice.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that a lot.
yeah. Had to
Weird.
explain it to my friend.
If you don't get it in the comments, go Google it.
Also, hello, Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
We're expecting you here.
One thing as well, this is a very weird tangent, but while you prep the trivia round, we're still waiting one day for Alan Titchmarsh to leave a comment in one of our videos because we call him a demon and a goblin.
demon?
And I don't know why we've got
Horticulous Slimux is Demon Alan Titchmarsh.
Demon Alan Titchmarsh.
Oh my God.
And one day, I just hope you're watching, Alan, and if you are, I love you and you're great. So please.
We love you, Alan.
We love you, Alan.
Yeah. Why don't you come on the podcast?
Why don't you
Come
come
on the
on
podcast.
Tell us all about your
Actually,
Warhammer
yeah,
journey.
come on the podcast, man. Be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a shout out.
Yeah.
Whilst we're here, Zendaya, come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on the podcast.
Why not?
Yeah.
Come on.
We can have a panel.
Yeah, Titchmarsh, Zendaya, Louise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Goodness. Wow. Okay,
Okay.
is everyone ready for the trivia
Yes.
round?
Oh, are we going head to head or is it a team effort?
No.
There's only one team.
It's face to face.
Uh-oh.
Team A versus Team B. Team Louise versus Team Jordan.
Brad.
Nice.
Team Sugden versus Team Bard.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
Sachin and Brad.
Sachin and Brad.
Together at last.
Hosted by Bread.
If you'd like to choose your own team names, that's absolutely fine. But you're
I
not.
want to be Team Brad.
Team Brad.
Brad.
Okay.
Oh, no, I've been rumbled.
Come on. What's your one?
Team Bread.
Team Bread.
No, I'll be Team Louise. There you go, that'll
one
freak
am I?
everyone out.
Was I Brad?
You were Bread.
You're Brad.
Bread.
I'm Brad.
Yeah.
Because it was just a typo, wasn't it?
It was a typo.
type of
Okay,
info.
good. So confusingly, if I lose, you lose.
Yes.
Okay, good, great. I've set
Yeah.
this up perfectly.
But we're all winners here.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
that's good. But one of you is going to lose.
Okay.
One
fair
of
enough.
you is going home.
Yeah. Welcome back to the quick. I feel like I need a name for it as well. The trivia round's fine.
Slime in.
The slime round.
Slime round.
The gunge tanks are prepared and we're ready
Loaded
to
above
go.
us.
Yeah,
Gun
we are
will fall on the
sponsored by
loser.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, imagine.
The gunge is provided by Nickelodeon. Do you reckon there's any like there's a Nickelodeon museum and they have like a
There's a Nickelodeon theme park and they have like slime pools.
Really?
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
They have like a SpongeBob thing and all the water comes out as holes.
That's good to know.
It's pretty good to know. Is that in the quiz?
Well, that's actually
a good bit of trivia.
That's
Is that
actually the prize for today's winner.
Oh,
a trip to Nickelodeon land.
All expenses paid trips Nickelodeon
Oh
World.
boy, Team Brad.
And all the guns you can drink.
To not confuse everyone, Louise is Team Brad and I, Bard, am Team Louise.
Yes.
So it'll be nice and simple for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's going
Yeah,
on.
good.
Great
good,
success.
Good. Glad we got that established.
Glad we cleared that right up.
Great.
Right, here we go. Question number 1 in the trivia round.
Yep.
Goes like this.
Okay.
Holy Terror is based on planet Earth, which is where we are right now. It's planet Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
And on Holy Terror, the Imperial Palace was built. Yeah. But where on Earth was it built?
I don't know how to spell it, but the intention's there.
Okay. Misspelling's fine.
What?
So, Holy.
Yeah,
so,
no, I
you
know
get
the
it?
question.
Okay. So
Yeah.
answer the question, please.
Okay.
Come on now. We don't have all day. I'm going to move on to the next question. You can come back. You can ask me for repeats at the end if you
Okay.
get stuck. Question number 2.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Fabulous. The original Warhammer, you might think, is Gal Maraz, but it's not.
I
Okay.
might have thought that.
Okay. But was in fact not a Warhammer at all. It was a sturdy maul which was carried by an undead-hating Chaos Warrior called what?
What? I'm not doing very well here.
I don't know if I'm doing well. I'm just
Excited.
acting smug.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a helping hand for you.
Yes.
Bard, Louise, whatever your team is.
Bard Louise, my name.
Brad.
It's the kind of thing, the kind of name we come up with in one of our games.
Oh, that's a good hint.
Yeah, for something dumb.
It's the kind of thing you would imagine if you were going to name the first Warhammer.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Davey Von Dave. Pants.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually am quite excited to see what we're.
That's not what I've written down, but that's fine.
Question number 3. Which ones go faster? There's a hint
wonder if
in
I
the
get
way I'm speaking. Which ones go faster?
That's a good question.
Okay,
That is a good question.
That's a good question.
right. Question number 4 is it might be mean. Space Marines. The Space Marine miniatures predate Warhammer 40,000. There's a fact in the question for you.
Yep.
But they were so popular, the game was made around them. But what was the now famous product code for the first Space Marine?
Famous product code.
Yes.
Is it letters and numbers or just numbers?
I'll give you a hint.
Oh no.
It's 3 letters and 2 numbers. I'm not going to tell you what the letters and numbers are because that would be the answer.
3 letters and 2 numbers?
Yeah. I will accept the closest.
Wait, and 2 numbers. Oh, I thought it was
product
3
code.
numbers.
Just 2.
Okay.
Oh.
I really hope I've got this correct. And
I know.
Can I have the question
I hope
one
you've
more
got it
time?
correct.
you want the question one more time?
Yeah.
Okay. Space Marine miniatures predate Warhammer 40,000.
Yep.
They were so popular, the game was made around them. But what was the now famous product code for the first Space Marines?
3 letters.
Distraction noise, very good.
3 letters.
3 letters, 2 numbers.
Oh, 3 letters.
3
Yeah.
letters.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What's the 3rd letter?
You sound very
Oh,
confident
no.
taking your sip then.
It's the sip that gave me clarification that I was in fact not confident.
But remember, the closest will win. I'm going to have to press you both to finish writing down your answers before we move on.
Okay, I've taken a shot in the dark there.
No, I'm going to take one more shot.
Okay. Right.
I think you're doing okay. I'm worried about a lot of my answers.
The final question
Yep.
in the Tabletop Tactics trivia round, which is question number 5. Goes like this.
Okay.
During the Horus Heresy,
Yes.
each Space Marine Legion possessed a Gloriana-class battleship.
Oh, no.
These massive ships were long. They were very long. My question to you is, how many long were they?
How many long?
Too long?
Long?
They were too long.
Do you want the answer in longs?
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
are we
what
talking
is the
like
measurement?
miles, meters?
Kilometers.
What, sorry? Kilometers.
Yeah.
I was with Louise at like 3 long.
Yeah.
In kilometres.
Yes.
Oh, this is a fun. Oh, it's a guessy. You're right.
It is a guessy. So this will be the
There's
closest.
an exact answer?
There is. I mean, roughly. They weren't exactly the
They
same
weren't real.
length as far as I'm aware, but they were roughly about X
No idea
kilometers
what's-
long.
How many miles is in a kilometer?
Think about the size of a Space Marine, think about the size of a Gloriana-class battleship, and you can probably
But how many
figure it out.
kilometers is a Space Marine? That doesn't help.
A Space Marine is 5 long.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Are you happy with your answers?
No, can I have question 2 again?
Question 2 again. Right, question 2 again was the original Warhammer you may have thought was Gal Maraz, but it was not, and it wasn't even a Warhammer. It
Like
was,
you throw us off.
yeah,
Like
it was a sturdy maul
Yes.
carried by an undead-hating Chaos Warrior called what?
Okay.
What was the first Warhammer called?
Gal Maraz, I've already said.
Okay, well you may have thought that.
Would you like the answers?
Yes.
We'll be right back in just a second for the answer round.
And we're back.
So, are you ready to give me your answer?
I'm so sweaty.
I'm not ready for the
I am a
answers.
bit as well.
I'm a bit
actually.
sweaty.
It's like destination
This is
sweats
quite-
for the end of
Okay.
the thing.
Come on, Team Brad.
Okay, Team Brad, Team
I think
Louise.
Team Brad might have this because I've had a proper brain fart on the first one.
I've had many brain farts.
Nice.
Okay, let's go.
Can't copy you now. It's
you
okay.
do.
The answering round is over. So, Holy Terror is based on planet Earth, and on Holy Terror, the Imperial Palace was built. Where on earth was it built? It was built in the Himalayan mountains.
Yes!
Nice.
Ding!
I got that wrong.
How many points do we get? Is it
5.
5?
5 whole
I-
points.
I
No, per
couldn't-
thing.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
That's mental.
It's a good trivia round,
That's
isn't
a
it?
good trivia.
I
Yeah.
forgot exactly what, so I just said mountains /
Oh,
desert.
give him like 2 points for mountain.
I don't think I'm
Mountain
allowed
was-
any points.
Mountain was 50% of the answer.
That is true.
I also put / desert, so.
We can ignore that.
Yeah.
It
Well-
could have been a desert when it was built.
That's true.
Ah.
Got a really interesting fact about deserts which I've forgotten now. I'll tell you after. I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 points.
I get 2 points?
Give you 2 points.
I'll
for,
give you 2
for-
points.
for mountains.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Minus
But you
2
get
for
5.
desert. Thank you.
Okay. The original Warhammer isn't Gal Maraz. It was in fact a sturdy maul carried by undead-hating Chaos Warrior called Harry the Hammer.
Oh! I went
Very
for
good.
I went for Hammer von Hammerstein.
Oh, give him 2 points
which
for
is-
Hammer von Hammerstein.
You're being very kind.
Very kind combatant.
Wait, here's the
All right. So the scores currently, according to my totalizer, is 10-4.
It's not looking good for all.
My
Team
favourite
Brad.
time of day.
Team Louise is not doing very
Brad,
well.
let's go.
Yeah. So very, very good. Well done, everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Nice, good work, team.
Good job.
Especially Hammer von Hammerstein.
I like that. I like Larry Lau's pistol. That was gonna be the other guy.
He just uses finger guns as well. Tell me, which ones go faster?
So I wrote the red uns
That's nice.
for a little bit of extra
I think that's a
flavour.
bonus point. I did put the red ones.
I did, in fact, I'm such a swot. I hate this so.
That's good.
I did write apostrophe uns.
That's good.
Uns.
That's good.
I'm going to give you both 5 points.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
It's very good.
It's according to what I've written down, it's the red one.
Oh,
The red
da.
ones.
I feel like da red uns would have given me like.
But you could
Okay,
be
no bonus
forgiven for
Yeah.
having a slightly different pronunciation. and stuff.
I like that this
spelling.
orc has no teeth.
No,
This
nothing.
all also sounds a lot like
Nothing.
Michael Caine. It's Michael Caine the orc.
Okay, this one I feel.
This one I'm
I
excited
feel devastated.
You both seem very unconfident
I'm
about
very worried.
question 4
Oh,
trivia.
well, I think we're close. We've got for very similar answers.
All right, well, you've both seen each other answers, so I'll let everyone at home know. Space Marine miniatures predate Warhammer 40,000. They were so popular they made a game around them. But what was the now famous product code? I can hear everyone at home screaming the answer. The answer?
Oh.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go first?
Yeah. So I thought it was RT and then a 3-digit code because I copied it for my goblins. So I do RH.
Yes.
So but I didn't know there was a third letter. So that threw me off. So I just wrote
too.
RRT01. I just added an extra R. As you can see, I scribbled over 2 answers, which were silly. What did you write?
I went RTS-01.
I think
Because the third letter
it
also
all comes
spooked me.
down to which side of the RT the letters are. I think it must be after.
Comes down to the third letter. So you both got RT.
Yep.
You both got 01. It is in fact RTB01.
What?
Yeah.
B for what?
Barry.
Retail boy, I don't know.
RTB. So
Retail box 01.
I would give you an
Retail box
extra
makes
point
sense.
because you put the letter in the correct position.
No, you both get 0 points.
Yeah, fair enough.
What?
He's a
Either
hard
of you got it right.
Oh, I'm gonna just
But you both tried very hard.
gonna turn my 0 into a frowny face.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That seems fair.
Right, the final question. Sometimes
Oh,
I
this
have
is
to
the-
I have to put my foot down as the games master.
That's
fair.
absolutely fair.
It's made
I'm
up.
too nice. I'm like, give the boy a point.
You're being very lovely.
Yeah.
I'm just scraping on by.
So at the moment, the scores are 15 to 9.
That's okay. You can
No.
you can make
7?
it up.
No, it's 9 because you got 2 points first because of your kind combatant.
Yeah, but then I...
You got 2 points, then you got 2 points, then you got 5
Oh, I
points.
did get points for Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
would
Yeah.
give it, obviously.
That's very
Because
kind.
it said hammer. Right, the final question
Yep.
in the inaugural trivia round. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm very ready.
Okay.
Sweating so much. I care too much about it.
I'm invested as well. The rough length of a Gloriana class battleship that each Space Marine Legion was bestowed upon them
I've got this so wrong.
was
I don't know.
20 kilometers.
You got closer. I wrote 70,000.
What? I put 14,000.
That's so long.
I know.
Think about going 20 kilometers.
Yeah, but you
I've never gone out my bed.
70,000
The sound
kilometers.
of the world.
You write
20.
14,000.
Yeah, but like...
That's so long.
I know, but you said it was
said it was
long,
really
long, long, long.
Space Marines are long.
Think about the size of a plane.
I know.
It's a plane.
Like less than a kilometer.
Yeah, but it's a big battleship.
You've both done very well. That's the
How many
important
points
thing.
do I get for 70,000?
Well, none, because you're so far out.
But I'm closer.
You are closer. You get like 2 points. You get 2. I think like if you were like if you're a few kilometers out.
Here we go.
Maybe you would have got the full 5. But you're both very far out.
70,000 kilometers.
I don't even know. I'll look up after we cut.
I need to like look up how long that
I'm going
is.
to try and find something at 70,000
It's
kilometers.
probably like the circumference of Jupiter.
And I
Maybe.
also, it's so long they don't even need to travel. They just walk across the spaceship. It's a big
They couldn't
bridge.
even do that. It's too
Well,
long.
listen,
right, well.
you've both done very well. I'd like to award Team Brad the first big W for completing the Tech Tactics trivia round.
Also, currently the highest score.
Yeah,
Yeah!
you are currently the all-time highest score.
Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done, Team Brad.
Yeah.
Well done.
Until
Well done,
someone
Team Brad.
unplugs the arcade machine, which is our collective lives, you will be on top of the leaderboard until we do another one.
That's
if
so
we do another
exciting.
one. If
If
you
we
want to
do
see
another
another one,
Bad
just
luck,
comments.
Team Louise.
Yeah, Team-
Confusingly.
yeah. Louise did as well.
Commiserations for
Sorry.
taking part.
I've let Team Louise down. Very sorry.
You do, as the host, have more chances to win, though.
That is true.
Maybe an unfair
That is true.
advantage.
And more chances to lose.
There
That
were
is
good
also true.
questions,
There were good
though.
questions.
Thank you very
Like,
much.
I was really scared because I've had to start Googling like what the Primarchs are called again. So like that was actually like quite.
What is a space marine?
Yeah, literally.
Marine.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got like the Himalayan mountains.
That's nice. Well,
That's very good.
That's
I had
a
a
good
complete,
fact.
my brain
Yeah.
completely melted. I was like, I know they're a mountain.
Well, there's your Game Master's thing back.
Thank you.
And then we'll
Give you my
You certainly can. Well,
you.
they all live in here now under the dice tray
There you
forevermore.
go.
we'll go back to the main show.
Sweet.
That's
It'll
a
be
nice little refresher.
nice.
I like
I reckon
that.
we'll do a little like, whoosh, and we'll see you in a minute.
A little transition.
Woo. And we're back. We're back. Sorry, behind the scenes, everyone, we're trying to figure out how to come back after
How
the
do we
trivia
come
round.
back?
We were so
Yeah.
excited.
Whoa, we're here. I like the idea that we just like hard cut to us looking like we've even beamed in and we all look shocked. Whoa.
Oh, get an empty table and I'll punch us back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Do
That
a
would
new
have been
transition every
teleported
time.
back
yeah.
in, yeah. We work on the telly. All right. So speaking of making stuff and films and TV, you've been part of a team making a film, a documentary.
Yeah,
I
a
believe.
documentary. It's just happened. The whole documentary's been made. Yeah. That was weird.
Very
There's
exciting.
a premiere and everything.
You had a
There
premiere?
was a premiere and everything.
Very cool.
It was crazy. Yeah. So it was like the week I had like quit my job and started my channel. Well, launched my channel.
Yes.
And I got this email that was like, "Hello, we are very interested in your line of work. Would you be happy to participate in this upcoming art project?" And I was like, "This is a scam."
This is a scam, yeah.
I was straight up like, okay, this is a scam. But I replied because I was like fresh and new and it was an exciting opportunity in my area.
It reminded me of that meme of like the sweaty superhero, like yes, no, bin,
It was like
proceed.
that. Yeah. So they were very nice, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, we can do a video call." So I did a video call, and it turned out I went LARPing with with Rachel, the lady who was like doing it, and I was
amazing.
like, "This goes wrong. I can just hit you with my LARP hammer."
I could get you in the LARP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's always that worry where someone comes in to a niche, nerdy hobby that's been ridiculed quite a lot in the past, and they say, "We want to make a documentary about you."
Yeah.
That it's gonna be, you know, the kind of like weird addictions. Oh,
Yes.
these guys like to spend all their days in their room painting their toys. They don't have girlfriends and they smell weird. Like, there's always that risk. So I was very much like kind of like, I would never want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I would never want to be a part of that. And now that Warhammer is more in like the public light, I am conscious of people who are like making fun in a loving way and people who are making fun to try and like put us down.
Or like jump on the sort of weird bandwagon
Yes.
of like, let's expose these people.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. So it's something I'm quite conscious of. So
100%,
I was like, oh, but it's great. They've done loads of documentaries in the past. I think she's worked on like Love Island as well. So I'm like,
amazing. Okay,
nothing we
yeah.
ever do will ever be worse than that.
Yeah.
So that's good. So yeah, and then they were like, the basic idea is we want to ask the question, is miniature painting art?
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to put that to you two. What do you think? 'Cause
Yes.
this is the first question they asked me. They sat me down, camera on me. I was terrified. They were like, okay, we're going to start with a really easy one. Is miniature painting art? I just froze up. Yeah, it's a tricky, like it's obviously some people are like, absolutely yes. And some people kind of think about it a bit more. So what do you think?
I would say yes.
I think so too.
That's kind of the point of the documentary.
If you, if you think about your piece of Warhammer at the moment, and all the people that have been inspired by it, that is art, isn't it? And all the kids that are looking at it and getting their grubby mitts on the glass, they're inspired to do something as well. So
is it about the?
absolutely is.
I'm turning into the host now. So is it like,
like
the
this.
inspiration for you? Like what defines it as art? So the first question, I guess, is what is art? I know,
I'm not
even
qualified
worse.
for this.
No, me neither. Me neither. I have an art degree, not qualified for this.
Yeah.
So it was really tricky because I've seen a lot of people, to put the flack off you, say that like miniature painting is painting by numbers. And that blew my mind, right? Because I was like, I had like this existential crisis where I'd spent all these years being like, I'm so creative, I'm gonna paint my ochre blue. And then someone's like, yeah, but you're just painting by numbers. Like you've already got the stencil, you're just coloring it in. It's just coloring in. And I was like shocked by that because that's just never how I thought about it.
Yeah.
And this documentary was really interesting to see the way different people interpret art and the way different people like kind of present themselves artistically using this I guess template that we're given from miniature companies like Games Workshop, and it was so fun to do. There were so many fantastic people involved in it. Like they managed to get such a variety of people. They didn't manage to get anyone from Games Workshop, so we didn't get the heavy metal side of it, which I think is a shame because I think there's a real like conversation to be had about like, okay, you're painting this as a product to be sold.
Yes.
Is that art? And then I still think it is because they're fantastic painters and they still put a lot of themselves in it, blah, 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 blah. But the rest of us, it was really cool. There was people that like do the very grim dark stuff like Lawrence. And then there was people like Orky, you know, Keris, who's just like, I'm just having fun on Twitch. And it's about the community for those people. And it was just so fun to put together. My role kind of changed. They originally had me in as like just someone to be interviewed. And then they were like, oh, she's weird. We're just going to make her like, you know, the Rocky Horror Picture Show where you've got like the narrator who kind of talks you through it. I ended up just being that.
Amazing.
And, like, which is great for me because if you put a camera on me, I'm just like, hello. hello, I'm awkward. so that was perfect for me. And yeah, so it got made.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. They got Hero Forge involved because they loved it as well. They were fantastic because it's so good that people can just like use their website and create miniatures which represent themselves or other people. And that was such a cool conversation. So like, the whole thing was just like a series of great conversations about miniature painting with great people. Like we had like Gav Thorpe and everything.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, it was great. And he was at the premiere, and we had like Bob Ollie, who had obviously like sculpted some of the original Space Marines.
So cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And then we had a premiere in Scunthorpe.
Nice.
Just the nicest place.
Yeah.
Just the best place.
Shout out to Scunthorpe.
Shout out to Scunthorpe.
You usually do your shout out to Stenning as well. You haven't done it yet today.
I'm not referencing it.
Yeah, but
You can reference
Shout
it.
out to Stenning.
there you go.
Love you. Love you. Stick around. Stay on the map.
Don't disappear. Yeah.
Don't go away, please.
Fun facts about Stenning, used to be
there we go.
coastal.
Used to be coastal.
Used to be coastal.
What, in like
a long time ago.
in the
There was,
Jurassic period?
I went to, no, not that long ago. So I went to, when I was a kid, I went to my friend who's also called Joe's
not
house.
that long ago.
No.
What?
Who owned the pizza place in Stenning. You know it.
You know it.
And underneath the pizza place, there were smugglers' tunnels,
Shut up.
which are still there now.
Were they smuggling pizza? Oh, you mean like old smuggler? Oh,
Yeah. not like
oh no,
sneaking their own pizzas
not
to
the
people's houses.
Hamburglar.
In my head as well, like
Devious criminals they were.
how dare they?
Yeah.
In my head as well, this is still set in the Jurassic period, so there's like dinosaurs smuggling
Hamburglar.
pizza.
Yeah.
The hamburger.
Making little tunnels.
I'd watch this anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought it was the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
So when is this film available?
So that's like the main question. So yeah, there was a premiere. So the whole thing was commissioned by an art gallery in Scunthorpe, and it's a lovely place. It's like the best thing in Scunthorpe, probably. Sorry if you're from Scunthorpe, then you're the best thing in Scunthorpe. But yeah, the art gallery, which is the 2021 art gallery, wanted to do the first ever display of fantasy miniatures in a museum. Like that was their thing. They'd done one for Lego the year before and stuff like that. It was really cool. So like, yeah, we want to do this. And I'm like, that's amazing. And as a side piece, they wanted to commission a documentary. But then the documentary kind of took over the like exhibition, so they were like, "This is all great," and I think they've had such a good time putting it on. Like it's gotten a lot of attraction because people just think it's cool. Even people
really
that
cool.
aren't into Warhammer just think it's neat. So since it was made by the art gallery, it's not going to have like a YouTube release, which is a shame. So the next thing that's going to happen, so it's been made, so it's going to do some film festival,
wicked.
kind of
That'd
like
be cool.
routes and stuff like that. And I'll keep everyone updated for when those will be seen. I would like to show it. I want to go to like, I don't know, Adepticon and stuff like that.
Cool.
And Las Vegas opened it and things like that. And I'd like to do screenings of it there.
Yeah.
I'm planning on having a screening of it in Nottingham, just for all like the local people there. And obviously you're all invited.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And then it just depends. Like we're gonna pitch it to things like Amazon and maybe stuff like that.
Yeah.
See if anyone wants
See
to
if someone
pick it
picks
up from there. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it'd be so cool for people to be able to see it.
Oh, I think the more people who get to see it, the better. But it's not up to me, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course,
if it was up to me, it would be on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. I think.
everywhere.
I think it speaks to potentially the like how good it is of that. As you say, it started being like, oh, it's just going to accompany an exhibition, and then it sort of now snowballed into, oh, it's sort of its main thing, and more people are on board.
It's so fascinating.
That's awesome.
People,
that's really cool.
like, and you see it all the time in the Warhammer Museum. People like who get dragged around with like, I don't know, their boyfriend's not into Warhammer or whatever, and they're like, oh, even though I'm not into Warhammer, this is sick.
Yes.
This is sick. Like, I remember when I was wee, I used to think that the miniature painters at Games Workshop got given a bigger version of the miniature, right? When I was like 10 or something, I used to think like, oh,
surely it must be.
well, they're given the bigger one to paint, right? They're given the bigger one because I didn't understand how people could paint that small.
Yeah.
And I'm still like that with some people like Richard Gray. Sorry, Richard Gray. Like, how does he do it? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that is just fascinating for people and just breaking down that social barrier, which is like, oh, like the preconceptions people have about Warhammer players and Warhammer painters and miniature painters in general. And it was just such a good piece for for like demonstrating the hobby, showing the people, showing the niches and different ways that you can get into it. And I thought it was great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I really want to see it.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I know. Well, if there's ever a showing of it, I'll invite you.
Yeah,
So we
please.
can all
That'd be
come round,
amazing.
that'd
No,
be
thank you. No, we'd love to see it. we have a little bit more time. I've got one more question, basically.
Okay.
One final question.
Okay, I can talk a lot, so you're fine.
This is a very important question.
Oh, wow.
It might be the most important question of all today.
So how do I pronounce my second name?
I
think that was quite important.
Yeah, that was good. It's quite simply, why goblins?
Why goblins? I think I see a lot of myself in them.
Nice.
I think, I get asked this. Actually, it is quite a common question. It's like, why the goblins? And I think, so like, funnily enough, I don't have a goblin army. I do have like a goblin army. I have two Blood Bowl teams, a fantasy army, and a lot of glooms. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't painted over. It's not everything that I paint,
Yes,
but I
of
think
course,
I put so much love into them that whenever I paint one, I'm like, this is it. This is the goblin. This is everything to me. My favorite miniature I've ever painted is is it the cave shaman goblin with like the big mushroom hat?
Yes, the
Fungoid cave shaman.
Yes, the guy from the Gobbapalooza, is it that?
No, it came just before the Gobbapalooza. But the Gobbapalooza is the best Games Workshop kit that's ever been released.
It's incredible.
IMO.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just, I think I see a little bit of myself in them. Quite a lot of myself, because it's like, oh God, this is gonna get like tearful. It's like, for goblins, they don't care. They don't care. They can just do what they want. They want to stab some guy in the knee and then cackle away and fall into a puddle face first. It's like he's having a good day. He's having a good day, and he'll pick himself up from there and jump on a squig and have a terrible day.
Yeah, it's freedom.
Yeah, it is freedom. It's just being a gribbly little guy and being happy about what life deals you.
Yes.
And I think and also the mushrooms are fun. They're colorful, and they're just like dubious little dudes. And
Amazing.
I'm a dubious little dude.
That was a fantastic answer, Louise.
I think about goblins nightly.
And that is the only time I think after the sun has set.
Yes,
the goblins come out.
I just have my goblin contemplation hours.
Yeah, exactly. After
it's like
dark.
happy hour, but goblins.
Goblin mode. What a beautiful note to end on. Yeah, I think that is good. Goblins represent happiness.
Words to live by.
And I hope everyone at home can enter their own goblin mode and their own happiness.
I hope everyone finds a little bit of goblin in themselves.
Goblin away, everyone.
Thank you so much, Louise, for coming down to see us and being so gracious with your time and answering all the questions.
Oh, I've had a great time.
And playing the trivia round.
I'm looking forward to point 2.
Part 2. Woo!
Where is point 2 going to be available, James?
It's going to be on demand, so if you are an on-demand subscriber, you'll be able to watch that right now, because we'll be coming out at the same time, you lucky ducks. It's the Goblin bumper special. That's what I was thinking about.
I'll answer more of your goblin questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Your
right.
burning goblin questions.
Yeah, any burning goblin questions, they'll be answered in a minute. If you can join us there in just a moment. But I just want to thank both of you also for a lovely conversation. And until next time, I've been James Jordan, aka The Bard. Today I have been joined by Cowsel Beard.
Hello.
Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. And our very special guest, Louise Sugden.
Hi. I mean, bye.
Hi.